Mbukeli ihora lokugcina ncinkeleli lohlelo ekhaya jikelele eyinsuku nezimbala nje zizaya kuyobe kuwomvu idolobha abantu bethengelwa izithandwa zabo izipho zeValentines ngapha nangapha. Wena mbukeli ubheja ngobani ongekaze athole lutho ngeValentines? Hayi mina ngibheja ngokoloza.
Side eye.
Kuthiwa uthisha ke mbukeli wayibuza uEnzo eklasini ethi Enzo, one minus one kusalani mntanami? Wathi uEnzo anazi ma'am. Uthisha phinde futhi Enzo bukake. Uma ngabe ngikupha amagwinya u2 ebese ngithatha elilodwa ngiphinde ngithatha futhi elilodwa kusalani? Kuthiwa hayi waphendula ngokuzethemba okukhulu uEnzo. Wathi hayi kusala amafutha asale esandleni.
Nyanisile nje. Nyanisile nje.
Unyanisile.
Wena ubheja ngami sana urongo.
Usho nje uzongibonisa.
Wena ubheja ngami sana urongo and umuntu wami ujongile umuntu wami ngicela uprove unoxolo rongo kuyobe kubovu sana.
Kuyobe kubovu.
Kuyobe kubovu ndibovu.
Lalela.
Uzothi ndingena nga5 amablow ndiphuma umuntu wami umamele ke.
Hayi bongihleplela ke nami ama roses wakho. Ungabambi wedwa nami unithi kancane.
Hayi izothola emntwini wami. Unantu kanti.
Andazi. Mbukele ke igama langu noxolo mamtshali kwakwamali kanti sibonga khulu ngosuhlanganyele kanye nathi.
Ewe mbukeli singena kwi-yure yokugqibela yenkqubo kwaye ke sivuthele kwavakala isibhapa yiyo lonto ke sisitsho sikhaza ukuba uvile nje unetyala ngoba eneneni mawethu ikhwelo lityala nangoku ke qhubeka uhlale nathi bezindlebe de siuqukumbele owanamhlanje uvimba ngokathi ke ukulindele singabulela amanqaku athi indlu yowisomthetho yesizwe iza kuchitha imali engapha yakwezigidi ezintandathu zerandi singatha ke intetho kamongameli yobume besizwe ngomso kwaye ke elinye lamanqaku amakhulu namhlanje ngumdlalo weAFCON phakathi kwayo eMzantsi Afrika neNigeria ngokuhla kwanamhlanje tumlo ke unonkanyezi inkanyezi nomsantsa phakathi kwezinye mandla ngothi umazipho mamshukuma ozondwa ngezakhe izinto ncamagushe kaloku kwizihlwele ezindingqongileyo mbukeli make sijonge mani kule yure yokugqibela eziphala phambili kule yure.
Iparlamente liqinisekisile ukuthi lizosebenzisa isizumbulu esingaphezulu kweyigidi eziyisithupha zamarandi kusingathi inkulumo kaMengameli ayibhekise esizweni i-State of the Nation Address.
Ifike qathatha imini bikade lintwe ngamehlo abomvu. Ibafana bafana izaqhubisana neNigeria kumdlalo wandulelo wamagqibela kankqoyi weAFCON eIvory Coast ngokuhlwa kwanamhlanje.
Isishayamathatho sikazwelonke sizosebenzisa izigidi ezingaphezulu kweziyisithupha zamarandi kusingatha inkulumo kaMengameli ayibhekise esizweni ezoba kusasa. Usomlomo esishayamathatho sikazwelonke uNosiviwe Maphisa anqakula kanye nosihlalo omkhandlu wezifundazwe kazwelonke iNational Council of Provinces uAmos Masondo bakusho lokhu esithangamini sabe Iindaba ngesikhathi belandisa ngemininingwane yokusingatha isona. Esikhathini esedlule ke lenkulumo kaMengameli bivame ukubambezeleka ngenxa yokuphazamisa kwamanye amalungu eParliament. Sekubekwe ke imithetho emisha evimba amalungu eParliament ukuthi aphazamise uMengameli uma sethula lenkulumo.
Umongameli Cyril Ramaphosa uthi urhulumente akanokwazi uyisombulula ngokwakhe ingxaki yentswela-ngqesho kulutsha bethetha ngethuba ebambe indibano nolutsha evela eKapa izolo. Lo msitho inxalenye yearhente yesizwe yophuhliso yololutsha kunyaka wesithathu wesivumelwano sikamongameli sengqesho kunye nongenelelo lwengqesho kulutsha ngokweofisi kamongameli le nkqubo iphambili ivelise amathuba emisebenzi angaphezu kwesigidi esinye nesibhozo.
Ikomishana ezimele eyengamele ukhetho kuleli IEC ithi isizoqala ukugxila ke manje ekutheni yenza amalungiselelo okhetho oluzayo likazwelonke oluzoba kulonyaka. Lokhu ikusho emva kwempelasonto yesibili yokubhalisela ukuvota kanti ngempelasonto yokubhalisa zingaphezulu kweyigidi ezimbili izakhamuzi eyibhalisele ukuvota ezikhungweni ze-IEC ezweni lonke kwathi ke ingaphezulu kweyinkulungwane ezingama-23 zona zasebenzisa uhlelo lesimanje manje lokubhalisa online kanti izakhamuzi zingaqhubeka ke zibhalise online kuze kube uMengameli uCyril Ramaphosa umemezela usuku lokusingatha ukhetho okwamanje zibalelwa ezigidini ezingama-27 nezinkulungwane ezingama-400 izakhamuzi eyibhaliswe ohlwini lwabavoti.
Nkokheli ye-DA uJohnston Yeizan uthi unyulo luzayo balekile kwikamva loMzantsi Afrika. uJohnston Yeizan ubalule isicwangciso se-DA seentsuku ezilikhulu sokuba lo mbutho uvotelwe ngabemi boMzantsi Afrika. Uthi phakathi kwemiba abazaxela kuyo kukuyekiswa ukuqeshwa kwamaqela kwanokuphelisa imigaqo-nkqubo ye-ANC.
Without a working parliament.
Inkokheli yeqela eliphikisayo uJohnston Yeizan uveze izimvo eziza kuphunyezwa yi-DA kwiintsuku zayo zoqala ezilikhulu.
Within the first 100 days of office, the DA will introduce legislation aimed at rescuing our country from the 5 key sources of state collapse.
Eyona nto iphambili kukususa umgaqo-nkqubo wokusasazwa kwabasebenzi kwicandelo likarhulumente kwaye ubhengeze ukuba awuhambelani nomgaqo-siseko. Inkokheli ye-DA ikwathembise ukuxhobisa amanye amaqela aphikisayo ngokumisela amalungu awo njengoosihlalo bezinye iikomiti epalamente.
I also want to make it very clear and very unequivocal that the DA will bury the ANC's populist, job-killing socialist policies that come straight out of the left playbook.
Ukwatyhole umongameli Cyril Ramaphosa ngokwenza ngathi akaqapheli xa kuthethwa ngorhwaphilizo.
The president is allowed to simply turn a blind eye to grand corruption happening in the office across the hall from him in the union buildings.
Le nkokheli ikwagxininise ngentsebenziswano phakathi kwamaqela.
The DA, the IFP, the Freedom Front Plus, Action SA, Asanko, the UIM and others have been working together for nearly a full year before the election serves to illustrate a crucial point. It shows that in this election we are serious.
Njengokuba kusondele unyulo nabantu abaninzi belindele ukuba umongameli abhengeze umhla, i-DA iza kuphehlelela umqulu wezithembiso ePitoli ngomhla we-17 kule nyanga.
Ngaphambi kokuba uphume mbukeli uye naphi na aqiniseke into yokubana uxhobisekile ngokuqhubekayo kwisimo sezulu. Rhabula kodwa ungafinci.
Siphinde sikwamukele mbukeli lapha ekhaya Jikelele. Umengameli uCyril Ramaphosa uzokwethula inkulumo emayelana nesimo sezwe i-State of the Nation Address kusasa kusihlwa. Kule nkulumo kulindeleke ukuthi ethule umhlahlandlela wenhlelo likahulumeni onyakeni omusha u2024. Ziningi ke mbukela ingqinamba ezihaqe izwe ezifaka phakathi ukukhahlamezeka komnotho ngenxa ye-load shedding, ukwentuleka kwemisebenzi kanye nokufadalala kweinkampani zombuso. Ukuqonda ke kabanzi ngokulindelekile kule nkulumo yesona njengamanje ke mbukela semukela umhlaziyi wezombusazwe uAdvocate Sipho Mantula. Sikubingelele advocate, sikwamukele lapha ekhaya Jikelele.
Siyabonga amaAfrika asibingele nama viewers wethu ekhaya Jikelela eAfrika nase South Africa.
Sibonge kakhulu. Advocate, ingqinamba enkulu, i-challenge enkulu ephazamisa umnotho lapha eningizimu Afrika udaba lwe-load shedding. Uyabona njengamanje nje izwe lidlalela lapha esigabeni sesibili nesesithathu sokucisha kogesi. Kangangokuthi kuze kwaqokwa nonqongqoshe wezogesi uHosiyen Ramokgopa. Engabe uRamaphosa uyayinqoba yini le mpi advocate? Futhi kukhona yini okusho esingakulindela ukuthi akusho mayelana nodaba lwe-load shedding?
Siyabonga siswami. I think ukuthi into ibalulekile ku the State of the Nation of this year is that President uzoya ku previous achievements of last year, challenges zakhona. I don't think uzoza any new plan ngoba khumbula ukuthi isona izoza kayi2, kuzoba nesona of this one and kube nesona after ama election. Manje lena ibalulekile ngoba even last year makadila the load shedding ushilo ukuthi it will take 12 to 18 months ukuthi adile ngale load shedding, futhi nalento ukuthi kube ne into yokufaka either amalahla or ukuya on a green economy. Iyo i-challenge ebekhona. Sibonile last year ukuthi uPresident Ramaphosa ibe member ye-BRICS. I mean, he was the chairperson ye-BRICS. Kwaba nengxoxo nabantu base Russia futhi ukuthi sizoya ku nuclear power plant na or South Africa izoya on green economy or izorila kumalahla wayo. So kubalekile sazi ukuthi enye into very important ile into yokuthi abantu abana imisebenzi, and the second one ibe lento yokuthi sizodila kanjani ne inequality ngoba for the past 30 years, South Africa from 1994 to 2024, asinayo that balance scale umnotho. Kunto ze umuntu angathi ama opportunities wabantwana in the schools, imisebenzi. So one can look ukuthi president will try to also use this opportunity to look back ukuthi for the past 30 years as a governing party as ANC bayenzeni as the government. So use futhi as a platform ukuthi a report for the 30-year review, use futhi as a platform ukuthi a report about the last sona. So kubalulekile ukuthi abuyele emva from 2023 ukuthi bayenzeni ngoba makuza ku job even creation it was a challenge. Noxolo umuntu angathi the only success, I mean one case that has been shown ile yama relief grants ukuthi at least abantu basekhaya basayithola le inkamkamu le yama grant.
Njengoba ke advocate ubalulile udaba lokuthi abantu abaningi lapha eningizimu Afrika bengasebenzi. Uyabona njengamanje izinga labantu abangasebenzi lihlezi lapha ya ku 31.9%. uRamaphosa njengoba usho nawe ukuthi mhlambe kungenzeka ukuthi athinte kukhona into ebheke ukuthi ke ayethule mhlambe njengesixazululo njengesolution noma nje uzokwenza athalalise nje.
Umuntu angasho ukuthi President Izolo ngimbonile ase Western Cape akhuluma nentsha, akhuluma nge-presidential stimulus project, azokhuluma ngale project futhi yabasha ku public works. Uzobona futhi kunabasha abaku into ebizwa i-border management, kune youth futhi ese-Gauteng province. Futhi umuntu angathi president usebenza nama premier, usebenza nama mayor, usebenza nama director general, usebenza nama CEO wama state owned enterprise. Mina ngicabanga ukuthi yileli qembu or i-team ezoyenza ukuthi kube ne job opportunity, kuna coordination kuma premier, kuma councillors. Izobanzi ye makafika aze ngama promise wama numbers, but still South Africa inayo high rate of unemployment, and at the same time kubalulekile ukuthi senza kanjani ukuthi abantu bethu i-township economy into I think president must focus on, but beyond township asiye ku-village economy sithi ningabantu abazezilaleni ngama-farmers, because I think nayo it's something that president must look into. Last year ushilo athi ufuna ukuthi into ye-cannabis ikhulise umnotho in Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, different provinces. I think nakhona uzoba challenge ngoba that was a program ebekhuluma wathi phakisa, it means ukushesha. The government hurry on the agent needs kakhulu kuzomnotho we agriculture and farming. Hence ngithi i-youth yethu inama opportunity nase-Africa. Enye into esingakhulumi kakhulu i-opportunities zethu in Africa ukuthi South Africa is part of the SADC region. South Africa is part of the African Union. But ingathi asenzi umnotho or gains and profits ngalama border trade. Even no gas way to our electricity was given to countries like Zimbabwe, Botswana. Nathi sibe siboleka ugesi recently from Mozambique. So kubalulekile ukuthi upresident athepe ku education ye youth yethu.
Advocate, ukunikela ke enkantolo ezobulungiswa emhlabeni ICJ, engabe kusho ukuthini ke ngemgomo yeningizimu Afrika mayelana nobudlelwano bayo namanye amazwe esingathi nje ke phecelezi i-foreign policy yezwe, nanokuthi ke singalindela yini ukuthi uRamaphosa mhlawumbe aphawule malungana lolu daba?
Uzophawula ngayo ngoba mawuzobheka siswami noxolo uzobona ukuthi isona futhi it's a build up ebuya from ANC January 8 statement, ibuye futhi ye ku cabinet lekhotlha the last one into ye Russia Ukraine. Uzophawula ngayo i-role ye South Africa ne African Union. Uzophawula futhi nge-role yethu ukuthi why siye World Court of Justice nokuthi i-role yethu ne Israel ibuya kude from the then President Nelson Mandela asayina lo mthetho wase Geneva ngo-1998. Aphawule futhi nge-role yethu kulezi impi ezikhona kubo Sudan, DRC, Mozambique. Ngoba kubalekile ukuthi ku foreign policy yethu sistike ku ubuntu policy yethu ukuthi ubuntu bethu buye jikelela neAfrika, ubuntu bethu buye jikelela namazwe angaphandle afana njengabo Middle East, amazwe afana njengabo Russia and Ukraine, amazwe afana njengabo Sudan and DRC. So i-foreign policy yethu futhi ifanele ukuthi ibe ne meaning ku domestic policy yethu, ingabi i-foreign policy nje but singabi ne-understanding yokuthi ihlangana kanjani ne-domestic policy yethu in terms of our relations nabantu ababuya in other African countries. Njengowazi siswami sine-challenge makuthi every time kunama election siba nalento esibiza afrophobia or xenophobia. Upresident fanele ukuthi akhulume ngayo and kubalulekile ukuthi how do we use sports ne-arts and culture ukuthi abantu base-Africa babe ne-unity bakhone ukumanyana in one voice and one nation that uPresident Nelson Mandela nayo washo ngayo ukuthi iAfrica fanele ukuthi ikhule.
Advocate ke nanto nokhetho likazolonke ke selisemome manje kulindeleke ukuthi ke kule nkulumo yesona uRamaphosa amemezele usuku lokhetho. Engabe ngokubona kwakho uzozama yini ke ukuthi ke asebenzise leli thuba phela ukuyikhangisa ukuze bamethemba abavoti athole ihlandla lesibili?
This wami akana choice ngoba I've picked up ama opposition parties, they've been calling him, but president sinikeze i-date yekhetho ukuthi when are we going for the elections. Umuntu angasho ukuthi nakuma inside amanye we party we ANC bayasho ukuthi this is the opportunity ngoba ama election date wethu ufanele ukuthi abe between May and August. You ngoba uzoba ne reflection ya the last election date ye 2019. So president unayo i-90 days nje ukuchuza between those dates. Futhi president last year ngo December wenze i-consultation with the Electoral Commission ukuthi what can be the best suitable date. So kubalulekile ukuthi ayuze le thuba lekusasa, ayuze futhi le thuba ukuthi kube nokuzwana kulama election azayo ngoba sinama many political parties will be contesting. So kubalulekile ukuthi upresident announce ama elections ngoba ama campaign ase aqalile, even kulenyaka nje siyabona kunama manifesto launch aya kubo KwaZulu-Natal, kubo Orlando Stadium, So kubalulekile ukuthi naye abe setting ukuthi anikeze i-date ukuthi ne-electoral commission iyazi ukwenza umsebenzi wayo without any rush or any interference.
Ngokubona kwakho-ke uRamaphosa ngabe yiliphi lelisu azolisebenzisa ukuze phela umphakathi uphinde umethembe kakhulu futhi lelo selizomsebenzela yini ngoba siyakhumbula ukuthi isikhathi efika ezoqala-ke ukusebenza ngena kuleli hhovisi lokuba umengameli washaya inkulumo emnandi lapha ePhalamende iparagraph ende inkulumo ende ekhuluma ngokuthi thuma mina ngabe sizobona into efanayo kulokhu ikakhulukazi njengoba abantu kusebenakho abanye ukuthi cha ukumethemba sekuthe ukwehla uzozama ukuthi mhlawumbe asebenzise inkulumo yakhe ukuthi anxenxe umphakathi uphinde umethembe again.
Kubalulekile into oyishoyo ngoba omunye umculi uDr Khalana athi asithumi nje manje noma uthi thuma mina asithumi nje ngoba ngathi sibe sithuma abantu abasabuyi into abantu bayishoyo ukuthi sibe sithuma abantu abasabuyi so siyambona nezola abajayifa kulamantu yamanzi maybe upresident ukuthi abuye namanzi abuye no gesi abuye nezinto that will bring life kubantu bethu umuntu angasho nje ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi i-role yama-artist wethu 30 years ago abo Miriam wakaMakeba ayuse ama-poetic search lines zabo Miriam wakaMakeba ayuse ama-lines wabo Tatu Mandela but abuilde ilizwe hence ngithi asithumi nje angathi thuma mina but futhi sithi thuma mina but ubuye uzoreporta so upresident unayo that challenge siswami nama-premiers wakhe azoba khona nama-mayor njengongishilo ne-judiciary nama-minister so kubalulekile ukuthi upresident nayo kusasa anikeze i-country i-hope more so futhi ibafana bafana probably sizobe siye kuma-final izoba one of the best gift ku South Africa in 2024.
Kubekwe nemithetho emisha-ke yokuthi ngesikhathi senkulumo yesona kungaphazanyiswa. Ingabe lokho mhlawumbe kuyisinyathelo esifanele yini ngokubona kwakho advocate futhi sisemthethweni yini nokuthi nje inhloso yaso iyini kahle kahle?
Inhloso yaso siswame ukuthi akekho umuntu ozovumela ukuthi akhulume. I think nayo it was a very rushed decision by the court but considering ukuthi siku-election year i-court it took that decision ngoba isona it's a presidential directive ukuthi upresident unikezwe amandla the law ye country constitutionally ukuthi abize lesona kube namaqembu asithathu kube ne-executive judiciary but kube nale meeting omunye nje ukuthi the state of the nation kungabi ne-debate kuba ne-post sona debate immediately after so umuntu angasho nje ukuthi this ruling ingaba balanced but at the same time ayinikezanga amaqembu afana njengabo EFF ithuba lokuthi nabo bayenze what we have known since 2014 khumbula ukuthi lento ye-EFF ibuya kude from 2014 until 2023 but maybe umuntu angasho ukuthi even nasekhoto izolo bathi iparlamente inayo i-right yokuthi yenze imithetho yayo.
Sibonga kakhulu ke advocate ngesikhathi sakho lapha ekhaya Jikelele sikufisele nje nosuku oluhle.
Sawubonga mafrika.
Lewo ke mbukeli ebesixoxisana naye ke uadvocate uSipho Mantula owumhlaziyi ke wezombusazwe. Sixoxisana naye ke nje ke mayilana nesona okulindeleke ukuthi umengameli phela ayethulele ke isizwe. Sizothi ke qu 8 lo mangabe sibuya ke mbukeli sizobuya ke zikhona ke nezihambeli ezositshela ngokubaluleka kokuyivoca voca ungalingekuphuthelwe.
Enkosi kakhulu ngokuhlala nathi nisasibukele apha ekhaya Jikelele kanti ngoku singena kwisiqendu sethu sokuzivocavoca kwisiqendu sethu ke namhlanje sokuzilolonga sino Chanel Joseph ongumqeqeshi wokuzilolonga elinina ke linesidanga sase University of Cape Town kwi-Bachelor of Social Sciences kodwa ke ngenxa yothando lwakhe kwezempilo wakhetha ukuba kwicandelo lokuzilolonga agxile kakhulu kaloku ekuxakathiseni abasetyhini ukuva ngako konke oko sinaye ke apha studio kwaye ke sakunyanzeleka mbukela into yobana olu dlawendlebe lethu siluqhube ngolwimi lwesingesi ngoba undwendwe lwethu akaluva kakuhle ulwimi lwesinguni. Chanel, welcome to Ekhaya, Jikelele. How are you this morning? Looking fabulous.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you are serving body goals, and for anyone watching at home, I mean, this is a great inspiration. You know, I want you to share about, I mean, your background and journey into the fitness industry, considering the fact that, I mean, you are from Bachelor of Social Science. I mean, how did it, I mean, the transition to fitness industry, how did the concept begin?
Yes, it was a shock for everyone. So fitness for me was personal. It is how I found my peace, a safe space, moving away from home, going to university. And when I finished studying, the way fitness made me feel strong, empowered, literally capable of doing anything. You know, when you suffer in the gym and you pass that barrier, you literally feel like you can conquer anything else in life. It's also helped me with discipline, helped me in terms of my general health, physical health, mental health.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to be that gateway and that ally for other people and help them feel empowered and strong. Women in particular, because the fitness space is dominated by men.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Amazing. I love the fact that, I mean, you're saying that fitness is mostly dominated by males, meaning that as a female, you are taking up the space and, I mean, you are giving an opportunity to other women to feel empowered as well. I want to know, I mean, you speak about empowerment. How do you empower other individuals to discover the why they started? Because you'll find that most of the time, when you are in the verge of giving up, you just need a reminder as to why you started fitness. I want to you to elaborate more on the empowerment. How do you empower individuals, especially women?
So the empowerment comes from being and feeling strong.
Yeah.
When you're strong, when you're healthy, you feel like you're capable of doing anything. I mean, our capacity to do anything, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much fame, how much success. If you don't have your health and well-being, you have nothing. So in being the healthiest version of yourself, you're able to become the most confident version of yourself, the most successful version of yourself, and outlive, your God-given destiny.
Wow, that is amazing. Outliving your God-given destiny, meaning that when you feel good, you look good. And I mean, it all starts from within. And that is the power of fitness, because it does not only work on your physical self, but also your mental well-being, which is something that you are proud of and you encourage some of the individuals that you consult with. I want to understand, and I mean, your approach when it comes to shifting mindset, because fitness, it's not something that happens overnight. It's a lifestyle. How do you make them to commit on this lifelong journey?
So firstly, by finding your why. When you don't limit your health and fitness journey to an end goal and you see it as a timeless journey, because your why is something that's not just surface level, it's not just how you look, but it's how you feel. You'll never stop wanting to be healthier, wanting to be stronger, wanting to be fitter. Whereas if you set an external goal, you set a certain weight on the scale or a certain look, and then you achieve it, and then what? So considering it, viewing your fitness journey as timeless, it's never ending. You're never not going to want to be healthy. You're never not going to want to be fit.
Wow.
So shifting from quick fixes and wanting things now to understanding that it's a lifelong thing. You literally have to do this. We get to do it forever, not have to do it forever.
Amazing work. And I mean, we've had interviews, and exercising. And one of the contributing factors that seem to hinder a lot of people when it comes to exercise is wanting instant gratification. And I mean, even myself, I'm guilty of that, because if I were to start exercising tomorrow, I'd want this perfect body. I mean, how do you fight that? How do we fight that? Because it seems to be really, embedded in us. How do we fight, the wanting of instant gratification?
I think you need the right guidance, one. Two, just get started, because once you do start, you'll realize by yourself. It's one of those things that no one can tell you. You'll realize by yourself how you feel after a workout, how you feel when you eat clean. And you'll be able to go back and make those decisions based off how you're feeling, not how you're looking. Because how you look takes much longer to manifest than how you feel, which is, it's immediate, that's instant. Right? The endorphins that flow during a workout,
I love that, because I mean, when you say that how you feel, that's instant. You can just decide, meaning that, I mean, you have power to manipulate your mind to say, you know what, believe in yourself, believe in your body, irregardless of how you look. And I mean, I love the fact that you work with women, and I know that women go through so much when it comes to self-esteem issues because of how they look. And I mean, you empower them to feel good about themselves, irregardless, because I mean, all sizes are beautiful. I want us to get into the habits, because I mean, the habits, whatever you do, whether how you start your morning, how you end your evening, what are some of the habits that are enjoyable that you actually introduce to your clients so that, I mean, this is a healthy lifestyle for them?
So firstly, in terms of training, consistency looks different for everyone. So consistency for me could be 6 times a week, training 6 times a week, that's a habit. Whereas for my client, it could be 3 times a week. They need to fit it into their lifestyle, into their schedule. Some people are working, others are mums, others are both. So it's being consistent and finding what works for your schedule. So building that habit, the habit of consistency. In terms of eating, balanced diet is super important. And by that, I don't mean dieting, I don't mean starving yourself, but finding something that you enjoy, finding food that you enjoy, seeing food as fuel, and not something that you have to take away, but rather something that adds to your journey and to your health and well-being.
Wow.
So more consistency, and then training frequently, and whatever that means for you. Eating well-balanced diet doesn't mean you can't have a piece of pizza, slice of pizza, or have a drink if you want, but what you do most of the time, those habits count.
Amazing work. Before I let you go, Chanel, I mean, we're celebrating the month of love, and we know that there are societal standards as to how women should look like. I just want you, to throw in some words of wisdom, words of love to women, so that, I mean, they love their bodies, they love themselves, and they define and own their beauty.
Absolutely. So be selfish, it's selfless. That is my tagline with my logo. And that basically means that we often give so much as women to everyone else and everyone else around us, but you need to fill your cup first before being able to fill everyone else's cup. So be selfish with yourself, prioritize yourself, and in that, you'll be able to serve everyone else around you.
And honey, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
You can't.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining us. And I really hope, our viewers will enjoy this session, and they've learned so much, especially when it comes to empowerment, something that comes from within. It radiates on the outside. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Right, mbukeli Ekhaya Jikelele loke ebesincokola naye ibinguye uChanel Joseph nebesibana nathi ke ngohambo lwakhe kwicandelo lokuzilolonga. Njengoko ke sincokole naye wasixelela ngomsebenzi awenzayo, ngoku sizamnikeza iqonga akubonise apho ekhaya. Ndiyathemba ke nawe ke uzawushukuma uzivocavoce. Chanel, cela uvocavoce ababukeli bethu. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Guys, this is a leg workout. Leg day is my favorite, and everyone always asks for leg workout specifically. I have brought through just a resistance band and some ankle weights, just so that anyone from anywhere is able to do this workout. You don't need to be in the gym, you don't need to have crazy equipment. So I first want you guys to start off by warming up. A warm-up is always important, so you want to open up those hip flexors. So you can just start off by doing this, depending on where you are. I hope you have a little bit of space. Then you can go into some squats, chest out, back straight. You can do about 10 squats, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then if you've got a treadmill at home, if you've got a skipping rope, you can do a bit of aerobic activity for about 5 minutes before you start. But the first thing I want you guys to start with for leg day is a staple, and that's some squats. If you don't have a resistance band, that's totally fine. It just adds a bit of intensity to the workout. So firstly, same like your warm-up, you're going to squat. Control your tempo, so slowly on your way down. Make sure that your knees don't buckle. Hold at the bottom and come up. So that's your first rep. We're going to repeat that for 10 reps. Slow and controlled, no need to rush. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Right, so that's a compound movement, meaning it's working more than one muscle group. You can take off the resistance band right now. If you have some ankle weights, you can put them on. I'm not going to put these on right now, but basically this will help with any at-home workout and basically give you a little bit of added intensity. Right, now we're going to go into some lunges. I always like, so we've done a compound movement. Now we're going to do a unilateral movement, which is basically using one side of the body. So a single leg lunge. With your lunges, same thing, chest out, back straight. Make sure that your spine is neutral, knees are not caving in. We're going to do 10 reps on each side. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're feeling ambitious, you can do a little more. We're going to move on to the other side. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Right, now we're going to do something a little bit more explosive to get the heart rate up. If you do struggle with your knees, I will show you a modified version. So we're going to do a jump squat. So chest out, back straight, and you want to explode through your heels and down. If you do struggle with your knees, down into a squat and then up onto your toes and back down. So if you can't do the jump, no problem, there's always a modified version. So I'll do 5 of each. That's 3, 4, 5. And then for those who are jumping, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and then the last thing I'm going to show you guys, I don't have a wall, but if you've got a wall behind you, you basically are going to do a wall sit, 30 seconds, but just mimic what I'm doing against a wall. So you're literally just going to sit and hold that for 30 seconds. Everyone in the studio is trying it out right now. But yeah, if you are on a wall, your back would be flat against the wall. Hold a weight if you want to, add a little bit extra intensity. But yeah, so basically you would repeat that for 3 or 4 rounds. But I just wanted to show you guys that health and wellness is accessible to everyone. You don't need to have a gym, you don't need to have fancy equipment, you just need to show up.
Enkosi kakhulu ngokuhlala nathi nisasibukele apha ekhaya Jikelele. uSandy Morton ngumseki weGalavanting SA. I-app ke ejonge ukwenza amava enkampu ukuba ingabi nasingxaki. Le app ke ibonelela ngolwazi oluncedo kuquka ke uluhlu lwezinto eziyimfuneko zokukhempisha, ingcebiso zokhuseleko kunye nezinto ezinomtsalane zasekuhlaleni ezikufitshane nendawo zenkampu. Sinake uSandy kusinabisela ngakumbi ngayo. Sandy, good morning and welcome to Ekhaya Jikelele. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Sandy? Hello, Sandy. Can you hear us?
Can you see me?
Yes. Can you just start us? Can you just start by telling us what inspired you and your team to create this app?
I'm sorry, I'm losing you.
Hi, Sandy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh, don't worry about that. Can you just explain, what is the whole inspiration behind the app that you created, you and your team?
It's really all about giving back to the camping community and generally to people. We have done a lot of camping in our lives, had the most amazing experiences, touched a lot of lives, and our lives have been touched by people along the way. And it's time to give back. It's time to make camping easier and more accessible for other people, because it can be quite daunting to get into, to find the right places to go to find the right equipment to take. It can be quite a difficult thing. It seems easy. You just go and park off under a tree and camp, but it's not so easy. And so we decided to come up with an app and a website that helps people get into the camping.
I hear you, Sandy. You speak about the accessibility and the app being reliable. I want to understand, how does the Gallivanting SA different from other travel or camping apps currently available on the market?
We differ in one major way, which is the other ones have the same strength and weakness in that they are community driven and we are not. So community driven means that they rely on their users to input information, and very often people don't. It's the same as writing reviews. People generally only write negative reviews, but if they had a wonderful time, they don't write reviews. I don't quite understand why, but it's just a thing. So if people go to a campsite, they don't necessarily go onto those websites and update the information. So very often you will go on and it will have last been updated in 2009 or 2012. A lot changes in that time. So we are not community driven. We take responsibility for making sure that the information is as up to date as possible. And we check with every resort every year. Every 12 months, we check in with the resort and make sure that nothing has really basically changed.
As you say, Sandy, that you are not community driven, could you walk us through the process of planning a camping trip using the Gallivanting SA?
Okay, so what you do is you go on and you say, what sort of holiday am I looking for? I'm looking for a coastal holiday. I'm a mom, dad, got 3 kids. We want to go to the coast. You therefore would look at all the campsites along the coast. But you might be a young, very stressed out professional who wants to go and have some time out in the bush. So you can say, I want bushveld camping. So you can choose whatever your genre of camping is. And campsites have a personality. Some are loud and boisterous and exciting, and some are very, very laid back and quiet. So you've got to find the personality of campsite that you're looking for. You then go on to Gallivanting SA and you go along the map and you say, I want to go to a campsite in Durban. Or in the Durban-Natal area or in the Western Cape area, and you click on the icons and it will tell you all about that campsite. Do they allow pets? Is there a restaurant? Where is the nearest shop? It'll tell you everything that you need to know about the campsite. And you can read all those details and say, oh, they offer surfing classes, or there's scuba diving, or the children can play safely on the beach. That's the place for me. And you can therefore choose out of everything that's available, the one that works for you.
It sounds really interesting, especially, I mean, if you are able to check, I mean, some of the activities that you'd like to do. And one of the features mentioned is a camping essentials checklist. How does this assist the users in preparing for their trips?
Well, I'm sure just about everyone has gone to the shops at some stage and left their shopping bags in the house or in the car. It's the same as when you're camping. You forget something that's really, really important, something that's small and insignificant, and you overlook it because it's always in the corner of the house and you just forgot to pick it up. So I live by checklists. We are actually packing right now to go on a trip. I live by my checklist. I go through it every time. I almost know it off by heart by now. Knives, forks, plates, serviettes, tablecloths. And so having a checklist really, really helps you. But it's more important when you don't have a backup, when there isn't a shop around the corner, when you're going into Namibia and Botswana and you forget that vital spanner or that one set of pliers that you need to get you out of trouble when you have a breakdown. So a checklist is really important, and we have a very comprehensive checklist that you can totally modify to your own uses. We don't travel with children, so I don't need to take anything related to children, but we give you lots of space and place for you to add what you would need to take for your children or your particular camping trip.
You know, I mean, camping in South Africa is a great way to de-stress and connect with nature. But a lot of things can go wrong if you are unprepared. And safety is always a concern when it comes to camping. I want to understand, Sandy, how does Gallivanting SA address the issue and ensure that users have a safe experience?
Okay, so your biggest problem is probably between driving from point A to point B. Once you get to a campsite, you are in a much, much safer environment. Generally, all campsites have fencing, they have security, they have patrols, they may have cameras. It's generally considered as a safe thing. You're in an environment with other campers, and campers have a community and they understand each other, and you generally have very, very few problems. your more likely problem is going to be from wildlife. So the monkey that jumps onto the table and steals your cell phone. He's not stealing it because he's trying to steal a cell phone. It's just bright and shiny and it made an interesting noise and he's curious and he will come and steal the cell phone. I've seen them take binoculars, cameras, food, obviously. So I don't find camping particularly unsafe. We have camped for many, 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 many years. And in all that time, I have seen one incident, and that was in Tanzania.
And let's talk about the success stories. I mean, how has been the feedback from the early users of Gallivanting SA? How has it improved their camping experiences? You know, I want to hear from the reviews that you have.
Okay, so people are loving it because it's all the information up to date in one place. Especially older users who are not that tech savvy and don't like to sit on their phones. You have to search for a campsite here and search for a campsite there and search for a campsite everywhere else. And people don't like doing that. It just takes a lot of time. You're jumping between different platforms and it's just time consuming and confusing. Here, everything is in one place. So you can just jump between two and go, oh, did they say they were pet friendly? Let me just go back there quickly. Click, oh yes, they are pet friendly. Oh, they're not. It's very easy to compare and to jump between sites. You are not going and doing a marathon event on the internet trying to find places.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sandy, for joining us and taking the time to speak to us about, the Gallivanting SA. You are doing incredible work. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Lo mbukeli ke ebesithatha naye nguye uSandy Moto nongumsunguli ke we-app encedisa abakhenkethi kweli lizwe loMzantsi Afrika. Yayi siziqela ke siziqonqotha ngolo hlobo eza namhlanje sibambe ngazibini kwembukeli ngokuba uvuke nathi sade sabe kanti siyayisonga le yure. Lo manzi undibilisela wona nawakha yachocholoza ngasemva. Mamtshali siyayiqela.
Hayi ke sesifike ekupheleni kohlelo lethu umbukeli siyabuya kusasa ngesikhathi esifanayo ngehora lesithupha. Khumbula ke mbukeli ungakhohlwa phela ukuthi Bafana Bafana iyadlala ke namhlanje kusihlwa ibhekana ke naleze neNigeria mbukeli ngehora lapha yalesikhombisa kodwa ke kuzoqala ngo6:30 mbukeli. So nje kwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi uhlezi siyabasupport Abafana bazophuma behambe baye kuma fan parks beyobuka emamall njalo njalo lenze isiqiniseko sokuthi niyaphepha ke namhlanje. Siyobuya sesixoxa kusasa ke mbukeli sofika sesigijima sisijabula la sesithi siwinile sishayile Nigeria nisale kahle.
Zoom.